Maybe you should pull the fucking trigger.
Pull the trigger. Ain't nobody gonna do for you.
Alright, what is up guys? TeamDemise Andy here, and today we have a very special video for you. I'm going to be bringing you my top 20 favorite characters, but we're going to put a little bit of a twist on it because there are two more lists down the road that I want to do. So the first rule is they can't be villains. Now, some of these are kind of stretching it because a villain is a villain. How do I want to say it? A villain is typically the bad guy in the story. But villains can turn around in stories and become the good person. So people like Gajiel, I'm not going to put on the list though, because he was a major villain in Fairy Tail, but then turned around and became a key helper of Fairy Tail. So I'm not going to put him on the list because he was a key villain. Now, some of these characters were thought to be villains at first, some of the pirates in One Piece, you can say, oh, well, they're villains because they're not a part of the Straw Hat crew, but they're not necessarily antagonists of the main story. So, it is weird how I put this, and then, some of them, you think they're going to be bad people at first, and then they turn out to be good, and some of them, we just don't know. So, the list, what I'm trying to get at is no villains with some minor exceptions to that rule. I don't think anything can really be disputed as far as that much goes on this list. But I didn't add Sasuke because he played he was a villain in Naruto at one point. And the second rule is I did not add any main characters because I'm going to be doing a main character list soon as well as villains. So these are kind of like your side characters, your helping characters, stuff like that. So nothing too special about this list other than the fact that everyone loves a good comic relief, a good badass sidekick, stuff like that. So without further ado, I know this has been long-winded and I'm a retard for that, but without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on into our list. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for all of the Haphazard content, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram for more. So to start off our list, I didn't know who I wanted to give the number 20 spot to. Was it be Silver's Rayleigh or our actual number 20 spot, but I couldn't decide, so in the end I just decided to put Silver's Rayleigh as an honorable mention number 21. Rayleigh's character is really cool. We don't get to see him a lot in One Piece, but I do love his overall aesthetic, and there's going to be three things you see repeated on this list a lot: looks, personality, and abilities, because that's all you can do. So number 20 is our first actual pick. It's Klein from Sword Art Online. And I love this character. I love his look, I love his design, I love his personality, but we don't get to see him a lot. That's why he couldn't be placed higher on the list. As for Klein, though, I don't know how I want to explain his character, because, we don't get a lot of details about him, but he's just a really cool character overall in general, and, not seeing him a lot, I feel like helped me like him more. Coming in at number 19 is another character we don't get to see too often, which is another recurring thing on this list because I guess I'm obsessed with it, but it's Finny from Black Butler. Now, Finny's character, I love all three of Sebastian's kind of like, Ciel's bodyguards, but they also do things. So, he's the gardener, and I like him and the cook a lot. But Finny's is just kind of one of those characters you get drawn to a little bit more, just because he's like that super badass of the group. But yeah, that's exactly why I like Finny. And with Finny's character, I feel like, it's been 4 or 5. I can't remember at this point, but he's just a recurring character that just keeps getting cooler and cooler every time we see him. That's why I had to keep him on the list. I would put him higher up, but he's just not completely developed yet, I don't feel like. Alright, so coming in at number 18, we have Daikofu, and he is a character that I thought I really wasn't going to like, but I just fell in love with his character design as the series progressed. He's always trying to keep Kofuku in line, and it doesn't always turn out well for him, but overall he's a really good character, and I like his moral set. You know, he wasn't put in the best predicament, but he's making the best of it, so he's doing what he can. For number 17, we have Shinoa from Seraph of the End, if I can talk today. And Seraph of the End was one of those animes that I fell in love with quick, clean, and easy. And she was a character that really kind of helped that move along. She's not your typical useless girl. She was kind of more badass than the main character, honestly. But, you know, that of course has to change as the series progresses or stuff won't ever happen. But anyway, for number 16 we got Lubok. And now, Lubok is a character that I absolutely adored for 3 reasons. A, his ability. B, his green hair. And C, his personality. He is probably one of the coolest green-haired characters in the, you know, anime-verse, excluding one that will be on this list later on down the road, and who I am absolutely obsessed with because I'm a fucking retard. But anyway, moving on to 15, we have a Sail. I think that's how you say that. I haven't really heard much about him in a long time, but when I was making this list, I'm like, who from The Devil is a Part-Timer do I like? Lucifer. But Lucifer, unfortunately, was a villain. Even though he kind of turned around and became good, I decided to go ahead and leave him off the list. But then I was like, oh yeah, what about, you know, a Sail? So I put him on. But anyway, number 14 from Death Parade, we have Ginty. And he's really cool. I love his character, and even though he's kind of like the bad guy, he's not really a bad guy. He's just kind of like the rival workplace buddy. But yeah, I really do enjoy him a lot. I think his attitude and not giving a fuck really pulled me towards him, because the series was so, like, serious before he was introduced. Anyway, moving on to Blue Exorcist, we have Yukio. And oh god, I love the character so much. Like, I love Rin, don't get me wrong, but like I said, this isn't a main characters list, so putting Rin's brother on it was a must. Unfortunately, I had to place him in the top 13 because I did forget about him up until like the last minute of the list. He was like literally 29 when I was writing them out. But yeah, so moving on to number 12, we have Chelsea from Akame ga Kill. I really loved Chelsea. Unfortunately, she died really quick. I loved the way she fought. I loved the way she gathered intel. I loved her appearance. She was an overall great character. She just died way too soon for my taste. And if she wouldn't have died so quick, she could have fucking probably pulled a top 10 spot. To be honest, it's just her character design is overall really nicely made. They just killed her way too quick. Moving on from Naruto, we have Kakashi. Now, Kakashi was a character that I loved throughout all of Naruto, all of Shippuden, and as far as I am in Boruto, I still love him, even though I've only seen him 3 times. He's a great character. I loved his backstory. His backstory really got to me, and he's just overall a class character that you can't not love. And that's definitely why he's on this list. I think I should have probably put him a little bit higher, but I couldn't find a spot. But anyway, moving on here to number 10. Our top 10, we have Fu from Samurai Champloo. Fu is a character that you are kind of like not supposed to like, I would assume, because she's kind of like the Sakura from Naruto. She doesn't really do all that much, and she kind of gets in the way a lot, but she's just a lovable character. I love her design. I love her personality. She's a good character. Overall great. Love her. But next we have my favorite character from Blue Exorcist, Shima. Now, if you look on my Instagram, Shima is a character that I have loved since my very first anime, which was Blue Exorcist. I loved his character design. I loved him as a character. I never really knew why, though, until I started watching more anime, and then I figured out, oh, I like these type of characters, you know? So that's why he's on the list, and, you know, it's whatever. But moving on to a more serious character now, we have Levi from Attack on Titan coming in at number 8. If you don't like Levi, just leave the fucking video now. He's a badass. He's really cool. I love Levi. I mean, what else can you say about the dude? He's legit the badass of all badasses in Attack on Titan. He makes Eren look like a little bitch, Titan form or not. Next we have Yukine from Noragami. Now, Yukine was a character that I didn't like at first. I thought he was the whiny character who I wouldn't really get involved with, but as his story progressed, I really started enjoying him. Me and Alex have both read the manga for Season 3, and, you know, his character just developed so far in Season 2 that Season 3, his character just goes even far more and beyond, which should be happening soon. But anyway, we're moving on now to number 6, which is Bon the Undead. Bon was a character, as soon as I seen him, I liked. But as soon as we got his backstory, pulled him to a whole new level of loving him. His character design is probably the best of all of fucking Seven Deadly Sins, so far anyway. I haven't read the manga yet, but Season 2 I haven't started, but it is out, so I should probably catch up on it. But yeah, he's the most developed character we got. Our top 5 starts off with Fairy Tail, and it is Levi. Now, Levi is a character that I thought she was going to be an afterthought. Then she turned out to be a main component. But it doesn't matter. We could have seen her 5 times or 500 times. I would have loved this character all the same. She's a smart, kooky girl who falls in love with the badass and has the best romance in the story. It's great. Levi is a character that you cannot hate. I mean, if you hate Levi, you're just a complete douche canoe. And I love her character design. She's really good. Really, really good. Number 4, swapping planes though. We're heading to One Piece, where we have Trafalgar Law, the doctor, the surgeon of death, the badass of One Piece. Now, Law, oh god, dude, Law is legit badass. Like, you look at some characters, you're like, oh, they're badass. No, Law is legit badass. Now, Law's ability, the Appi Appi no Mi, is something we could have a whole video on, but it's just literally OP fruit. It's the shit. It's the op fruit. But yeah, I mean, I love his character design. I love his ability. I love his personality. I love everything about this character. But let's go ahead and move on. Coming in at number 3, we have Taiga from Toradora. Now, Taiga is a character that you kind of just are forced to love, no matter what. She's the little tiger, you know, spunky, spontaneous, and cute. And I really liked her character over Ryuji because Ryuji was the lovable bad guy who was also the good guy who was also the main cast. I don't know. You can argue that Taiga is main cast, but I went ahead and put her on the list because I see her as kind of like the supporting lead role, not the lead role. But yeah, Taiga's a really cool character, and, you know, she's the shit, dude. Toradora's the shit. If you don't like Toradora, get the fuck out of here. Ain't nobody likes you, man. Nah, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, Toradora's really good. You should watch it if you haven't checked it out, and you should watch my video discussing if we're gonna get another season of Toradora. There's been a lot of comments on it lately, and there's an argument in the comments whether we should have a season 2 or we should not. I'm personally under the battlegrounds of don't do it unless you're going to do it right, you know? Because don't ruin something that's so good. Anyway, let's move on to our number 2 pick. Number 2 is, of course, one of my favorite characters of all time, coming from Fairy Tail, Fried Justine. Fried is a badass. I love Fried's ability. I love his look. I love his character personality. I love everything about Fried, except for the fact that they decided to turn him gay canon. It was fun while I could say it's not gay, it's devotion, but now that there's a picture of him looking at naked dudes, yeah, he's gay. Anyway, number 1 is Shikamaru from Naruto. Shikamaru is a character who I just fell in love with from day one, just because of his attitude, mostly. His appearance isn't too much to look at, but his attitude and personality are my favorite things ever, plus his ability is one of the coolest, I think, in all of Naruto. I think he just needed time to hone it, and the Hidan fight was my favorite fight in all of anime. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that list next. But anyway, guys, if you did like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. By the way, guys, sorry if this video kind of seems a little bit off. I've been very sick these past 2 days, and I'm trying to get over it, but it's not working out well for the home team.